Passerby là một người khách bộ hành ở mô đó. Yeah. Who can give me the direction? However, if I'm in a strange place, maybe using Google Maps, yeah, is a good way for me to locate the directions. But can you read the map when you get lost?
Well, do. I do able to read the map when I get lost, but I don't usually because I don't get lost.
Okay. How about you, Ian? Can you read a map when you get lost?
I think that it's kind of hard to read a map when I get lost because I'm bad at define the direction. And if it's like the Google Map on the phone, I can know easily because it has a clearly named on the street.
Okay. Yeah. Have you ever helped someone who got lost, Manhui?
Yes, I have. I remember times when two people came to my house and asked for the road to go to the market, and it's close to my house. So yes, I helped them and pointed them the way to go.
Yeah. How about you, Ngọc? Have you?
I know the way, but I don't know the name of the road, and I was to show them you go straight and the left and the right.
Yeah. Chỗ này đơn giản. Yes, I gave direction even though I couldn't name the roads. Đúng thôi. Well, now let's talk about headphones. Diễm, what do you often use headphones?
Well, definitely, you know that listening to music is one of my hobbies, so I use headphones whenever I listen to English or maybe some of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
And I also use it when I watch film too.
Okay. How about you, Han? Do you often use headphones?
Actually, I always use headphones. I'm in practicing IELTS, so
Yeah.
the headphone is really vital for me to practice. And moreover, when I feel bored or maybe I feel stressed, I will use it to listen to some my favorite music to relax.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. What kinds of headphones do you often use?
Well, I often use Bluetooth through wire because it is very easy to use and convenient.
Okay. How about you, Ian? What kinds of headphones? What type of headphones do you use?
I usually use the Bluetooth headphone because
Okay.
it don't hurt my ear like the headphone that has a string, and it had a clearly sound too.
Okay, good. On what occasions do you use headphones, Manhui?
Yes, I mostly use headphones when I am in a public place,
Yeah.
so such as when I go to the coffee or when I go on the bus. But on some special occasions when my neighbors are so noisy, they sing all the time, so I have to use headphones to study.
Okay. How about you now? On what occasions?
Well, I think when I want to hear clearly the sound in there or in the public, and when for example in the coffee shop when I want to hear a song. A song.
A song. Thực ra cái đó là chỉ là nghe nhạc, mình có thể nói nhiều cái khác nhau nữa. For example, I use headphones for different occasions. One of the most popular one is when I study online. For example, I need to use headphones to listen to the lecture more clearly, and I want to focus on the lecture. In addition, at night or in the evening when I want to listen to music and I don't want to disturb my family members, I use headphones for listening to music. In addition, sometimes I am in class, but I don't want to I don't want to listen to the noise outside. You know that sometimes in my class people talk a lot, and that can disturb me. And in that situation, I have to use headphones for my study. Okay? what condition you won't be using headphone? Diễn, please.
Well, whenever I'm in a conversations with my friends or I'm in talking with other people, I wouldn't use headphone because it shows that I am not paying any attention to them and it's kind of impolite. And moreover, if the weather is quite bad, for example, is there thunder or storm, my mother says that I shouldn't use headphone because it's quite dangerous.
Hạnh, please, Hạnh.
I think that in some occasion I couldn't use headphone due to some the reason that in maybe something in the wedding or maybe in some festival. Yes, so I couldn't use it. And the second one I could refer that when maybe when I am in the maybe when I'm in the beach. Yes, because I really want to listen the peace atmosphere. So yes, that is the and I really don't want to listen the sound of headphone. I just want to listen the sound of the beach. So that really want, yes.
Okay. Thực ra cái này cái gì cũng được. I'm going to I'm not going to use headphone whenever I'm alone. You know that. Yeah. It is the good time for me to enjoy all of the sounds around me in my own way, for example. Or I don't often use headphones whenever I go out in the street because you know that I need to listen to maybe sometimes the noise of traffic so that I can take precaution from something. Or I need to be I need to listen to the sound of someone who is calling me. Or maybe when I am involved in different kind of social activity, I think that using the headphone at that time is quite impolite. And that is the reason why I won't use headphone in that situation. Rõ ý tôi nói không? Okay. Now let's talk about mobile app. What mobile app have you recently used?
What I originally use is a game app. I was playing with my cousin this morning,
Yeah.
and it was pretty fun.
Okay, that's all. Uyên, what mobile app have you recently used?
So I recently used some entertaining apps like Facebook or YouTube to have me relax after a holiday day.
Okay. So what kinds of app are you really interested in, Minh Huy?
Yeah, I'm usually interested in social medias
Okay.
because I'm still a student, so like using my phones for surfing the net is one of my biggest hobbies. Besides that, I usually play games with my brothers, so game apps is one of my best choices to use when I use my phone.
Okay. How about you now? What kinds of app are you usually interested in?
I usually interested in entertainment apps such as Facebook or TikTok. In my free time, I usually surfing on TikTok to update the information, and sometimes I surfing the Shopee to shopping online.
Okay. Diễn, did you remember the first app that you used?
Well, as far as I can remember, it was a dictionary on the phone, and it was when I started to study English, so I needed to improve my vocabulary as well as to check out some words. It's happened a lot.
Okay. Hạnh, please. What were the first app that you used?
It's hard for me to remember, but I guess the first time I used mobile app
mobile app that I use, chứ không phải là the first time I use.
The first mobile app that I use like learning English app. Yes, you know, because I'm a person I don't want to learn English by notebooks or in materials.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just pick or download learning English app because yeah, it's really eye-catching and it's really fun and interesting. Yeah.
Trong trường hợp đó là phải nói cả cái tay cái app ra thôi, chứ còn learning English app là một cái rất là popular, chả biết nó rất là general. Ví dụ đó là một cái app để học pronunciation có tên gọi là cái gì đó nhé Hạnh. Chứ bây giờ còn không thể nói chỉ chừng đó mà em nói được nha. But what kinds of mobile app would you like to use in the future? Trong tương lai, hiện tại trong app mình, trong máy mình có nhiều app rồi, và trong tương lai có cái app mình muốn sử dụng. Cái thằng đó là hãy ví dụ như cái app mình chưa sử dụng mà trong tương lai mình định sử dụng cái app đó, hoặc là cái app đó hiện tại là mình chưa biết nhưng mà trong tương lai sure là mình sẽ sử dụng hắn.
Well, I think that I'm going to use a dictionary app because I've been using Google Translate
Yeah.
then, and it wasn't very convenient.
Okay. How about you, Ian?
So I think in the future I will try to use the app about health, which can count the food that we take, or to also check us some like small exercise we can do, to make sure that we have a healthy health.
Okay. Rồi bây giờ nhìn xuống phần dưới cho cô nha. Bây giờ kéo từ dưới kéo lên lại nè. Hôm trước cô nói là cái nhìn ở dưới nhìn lên cho cô dễ ngại. Rồi bây giờ làm cho cô cái đề từ dưới lên là describe a toy that you often play with at a child. Thấy chưa? Dưới kéo lên, gom nhanh. Thấy không? Cả lớp. Describe a toy. Bắt có chưa?
Dạ có.
Rồi. Bắt thấy có chưa không? Ở dưới kéo lên, phần 2, phần 3 ở dưới kéo lên.
Cái là kéo từ dưới lên.
Kéo từ dưới lên.
Đó là trên rồi.
Đặt ở đây gầm ở phía dưới nè. Kéo, con kéo thấy ở dưới cái mượn đây, thường ở đây rồi cô chỉ cho dễ la dễ. Thấy chưa?
To compare our beautiful clothes in the door. And well, when I had a door, it was like I had another sister, so that I could look at her or play with. And so I really adored her, and she was like a part of my family. And until now, I'm still remember her as a wonderful memory of my childhood.
Ok. Cũng hơi bị ngắn lắm ra chị thôi. Cái phần phim nói gì cô nói hơi chút xíu. I next. Go next. Nè.
Yes, it was a automatic cars which can use remote controls to control. I remember when I was 6 or 7 years old on a summer occasion, a friend of my dad from America gave me and my brother this present.
Yeah.
Of course, I played and shared with my brothers and even my cousins. We spent almost our day to have a competitions and see who was the best drivers in the house. I think it was one of the best times in my life. Me and my brother really love it because due to it we have a unforgettable memories together. The toys are actually outstanding with modern facilities, and you don't know how proud was I when I played the cars and show it to all my friends.
Yeah.
That car has become a really vital part in my memorable childhood.
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 Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Được.
Cô nói quá.
Ngắn. Thường cái phần feeling, cái first feeling của mình đối với cái toy đó như thế nào, rồi khi mà mình chơi với nó thì mình có cái feeling của mình nó như thế nào, được chưa? Rồi tới bây giờ khi mà mình đã thành một cái grown up person rồi thì cái feeling của mình coi cái toy đó nó đối với mình như thế nào. Ví dụ when I first got the doll, yeah, I felt that it was like my younger sister. I hold it in my hand, in my arm whenever I went to sleep, for example. And the more I play with this, the more I discover that there's so many things that I could do with that toy. For example, I make clothes for it. I change clothes for it. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, I thought of giving her a bath, for example, and I even got angry with that whenever I was in the bad mood. Yeah, so I could say that I was quite excited and got close to that dome, and now the dome became one part of my childhood memories. I still kept it in my room, for example, in a special place, yeah, because it is one part of my childhood. Phải diễn đạt cả cái phần đó này, bởi vì nó là một cái phần mình phải explain. Hoặc là đối với Minh Huy chẳng hạn, đó là một cái remote control car chẳng hạn. Nó giúp mình discover những cái different part of the car như thế nào, mình feel excited khi mình tìm thấy một cái pieces of car mà nó giúp mình develop my imagination. Hình như một ý của nó phải nói cũng ra được vấn đề, còn không á là nó sẽ rất là dở. Chị Ân Hồng rất là dở, chị Ân Hồng để chị quay, được chưa? Ai nói đi, bắt xong chưa? Ok, in xong chưa? Rồi, xí nữa nha. căng thẳng xong chưa? Rồi nói đi nhanh.
Em nói well, today I could kick off by talking about a toy that I often place when I was young. Firstly, what the toy was, I remember that it was a packing set that my grandmother gave me on my 10th birthday, maybe when I was 10 years old. And secondly, I remember that I often play it with my families, with my friends, because I think that cooking set is kind of toy that need a lot of people, yes, to support each other together.
Dạ.
And moreover, I think that I could split the task more easily. Maybe I could share some things with my friends, from easy tasks like spy or chop up the raw material to spy precision, or maybe finish the meal. But and finally, I think that playing this toy was absolutely interesting and fantastic. I think that's it's really memorable moments in my childhood. So I could use over it when I feel bored or stressed. And moreover, until now I have kept it in my wardrobe. Yes, because I think that I want to save something like memorable items. So when I was more grown up, I could watch it to say something in my childhood. Yes.
Okay. I thought it's at one part of my childhood not to see. Rồi, bây giờ tới lượt Uyên nói với Uyên. Bạn nói xong rồi nhìn xuống dưới nha.
So when I was a child, my favorite toy was a clay pot, clay pots, and it was when I was 5 when my mom first gave me the clay pot with different color of clay,
Yeah.
and at that time I'm really happy, and I showed off it with all the kids in my neighbor. And they really admire me because at the time this toy was advertised on the TV a lot, and of course I let them play with me, but after that I kind of regret because many kids that mix the clay together, and I think it looked really ugly and I didn't like it anymore. I'm still really happy and excited when I first had this toy because it's like my dream toy, and I can make different shapes and things with it, so I think it can develop my creation and imagination a lot. And even when I'm grown up, I'm still interested in this kind of toy.
Okay. Hơi ngắn đó con nè. Rồi. Bách, nói đi Bách.
Yeah, I'm gonna describe a toy that I often played with as a child. It was Lego.
Lego, a set of Lego.
Lego. The first time I played Lego was around when I was 4 years old. Lego are little blocks that can be connected to create anything. For example, a car, a plane, or a building. In defect, it can be everything due to your innovations. I enjoy this toy a lot. Even at the time, my sister called me a Lego addictor. The first time I played Lego, I was extremely excited. After that, every single birthday, I always ask my parents for a set of them. But at present, I don't consider Lego as my entertaining. Anyway, Lego is one of the most memorable memories of my childhood, and that's all about that's why.
Okay, yeah. Ngọc, đi sau năm đây con đi thi có 1 phút rồi.
Yeah.
Thi ở đó có 1 phút mà ngồi mà nằm lâu quá, tập dần đi là vừa rồi.
Today I will tell you a toy that I often played when I was a child. It was a cooking set for kids. It consists of 20 items and some small items like knife, chopping board, and I was given a birthday present when I was 5 years old, and I really interested in with this toy because I really want to watch the cooking show on the TV, and I really want to cook. And my parents, when I received that this toy, I was so happy, and so normally I play alone and cook alone. So I give the finished product for my parents to enjoy, and I felt so happy because my parents pretend to eat them and cooperation with cooperate with me to eat them, and sometimes I play that toy with my cousin, and we pretend together. And when I grow up, I didn't play that toy anymore, but it's so memorable of my life.
Điều đó không phải dùng cooperate. Yeah, when I cook a particular kind of dish, for example, my mother pretended to enjoy it as much as possible, and that made me feel quite happy. Yeah, to think of many other kinds of dish in my imaginations. Yeah, and I also learned how to use some kinds of ingredients that I look for in my home at that time. Maybe something leftover cái phần thừa ra, that my parents often use for her daily meal, and I pretend to cook the same kinds of thing, with my cooking toy. That is something very funny. That is something very exciting, and I learned a lot of things from that. Okay. Learn how to be independent, how to pretend it, how to pretend to be a chef, for example. Bao nhiêu cái để nói. Rồi bây giờ nói cho cô cái phần dưới nha. Có 3 câu thôi nè. Cho 3 phút. Cho 3 phút suy nghĩ. Do you share the same idea that in the past? Handmade toys were something very famous at that time.
Well, as far as I can remember, in my childhood at that time, most of the children were so upset with the models of their idols, like the superheroes, princess, or cartoon characters, and they usually collected all of them. And as you can walk around, you can see in every table, on every table of them, there always have 2 or more the models of the superheroes.
Okay. Thực ra mình có thể nói ví dụ như cô nói đơn giản, wow, I time. In the past, yeah, I wasn't given too many kinds of toys. But yet, at that time, the kind of toy that was very famous, at least for girls, like a set of baby doll, for example, a Barbie doll, yeah. You know that they was available in all kind of shop, yeah, in the supermarket. And Barbie doll was always given as a favorite toys for many girls like me at that time. So I guess this is the kind of popular toys. Hoặc là mình nói ví dụ như con trai năm nay sinh nhật, ví dụ như vậy. Okay, whatever. Okay. How about these days? What kinds of toys are famous these days?
I think this day the choice of toy is not changed very much. The children still likely to buy the toy that from the famous cartoon or on that and that. But moreover, these days people when they make toy they often apply some knowledge about science or math that have developed children, and I think it's a really interesting way to have children.
Okay. How about you, Mark? Have you got any other opinions about the toys that are famous these days?
I assume that entertaining optional for kids are changed a lot because technology has become better. More and more kids use phone to entertaining, not playing with toys.
Okay. Thực ra ngày nay mình sẽ nói about there are different kinds of things. Yeah. For example, most people, especially children, like playing with some electronic toy, electronic toy because it helps them develop creativity, and there's a lot of things that they can do with that. In addition, manufactured toys which are made from different kinds of material, synthetic material, những cái vật liệu tổng hợp, are also something very popular for different kinds of for children. That is the reason why the kind of toys are popular to all of them. Okay. Last questions. Do you think that parents should buy more toys for their children, or do you think that they should spend more time with them instead? No, please, no.
Well, in my opinion, I think it depend on each family. But in my view, I think we should combine two ways to teach the children. Firstly, I think any children also like to play with the toys, but the parents do not buy more toys, just buy some toy that children like, that children want, and other hand, besides parents should after work they should spend more time with them. Chị sao nó có việc đó?
Chưa được rõ ràng lắm. Hạnh nói cho cô Sang rồi cô sửa cho câu đi cho nghe. What do you think is better, buying more toy for kids or spending more time with them?
I think it depends. Yes, I think if the parents have more free time, they should spend their little time with their children. Yeah, or maybe they should stand by their children's side or play with them. Because it can help parents have chance to understand or maybe teach their child their children better. And I think the second one, like if their parents don't have really to build up their creative skills, or maybe some em bị dưới ý là
Thấy chưa? Bây giờ cái câu này người ta cho mình một cái sự lựa chọn. Thì bây giờ mình nói cả hai cũng được, nhưng mà mình phải có cái reason. Ví dụ do you think. Ví dụ cô nói, well, of course, for me, spending more time with children is preferable. Because when parents spend time with their kids, they can interact with them, they can observe them, and in this way they can understand their kids better, and that can help them shape a good behavior during the game or during the time they spend for each other. However, you have to understand that nowadays many parents are often busy with their work, and it's hard for them to spend time for their kids as much as they want. So they have to choose the toy for their kids. But the problem here is what kind of toy they should choose for their kids in order to help their kids develop comprehensively một cách chính toàn diện, and avoid some kinds of passive activities when they play with their toy. Như vậy theo tôi thì spending more time là tôi thích hơn đó, nhưng mà tôi cũng hiểu rằng ngày nay không phải bố mẹ nào cũng có thời gian cho con, như vậy họ phải lựa đồ chơi. Cái vấn đề là cái đồ chơi gì người ta lựa cho con. Ok, nói chưa cả lớp? Rồi bây giờ tiếp tục nhìn ngược lên phía trên cho cô coi. Tiếp theo một đề nữa là describe a rule in school or work. Rồi, ok, sorry. Rồi. Bây giờ làm cho cô describe a long walk you ever had. Kéo lên. Yeah.
For the young one, they often choose to play some sport like football or badminton.
Exactly.
But with the elderly, they don't go for some like strong activities. They just go for work that not consume too much energy and but still help for their health.
Ok. Trả lời như Yên thấy rõ hơn không? Mình có thể nói nè, có nhiều cách nè, ví dụ như wow, there's a variety of sport, there are variety of outdoor activities that people want to get involved in. But you know that in my countries, one of the most popular one could be doing sport, because it's a good way for people to stay fit and healthy, and they also have a chance to interact with many other people around them. Another outdoor activity that I can guess or that can see people often doing walking, for example. In my cities, people often go walking, in the evening or maybe in the morning, ví dụ như vậy ha, mình hơi. Còn ví dụ trả lời Uyên, cô thấy là một cái good answer, sau đó mình cứ liệt kê ra những cái khác, hoặc mình nó nói là wow. As I can see, there's a lot of outdoor activities, and it depends on what age that people can choose the most suitable one for them. For example, for young people, the outdoor activities that people like to get involved in playing sport, for example. Or many people also like going out, hanging out with their friends, eating junk food outside in some street food restaurant, for example. As a good way for them to relax after a hard working day. But for the old people, I think that the outdoor activities that they enjoy most seem to be walking, okay, because that may help them to relax. Some people also like go trekking or maybe going to the beach, for example, watching sunset, sunrise, something like that. Được chưa? Mình không ra, hoặc mình có thể trả lời cái này, I think that it depends. Ví dụ như nam thích cái gì, women thích cái gì. Hiểu ý tôi nói chưa? Để ý cách trả lời cho cô nha. So what are some differences between the outdoor activities that children did nowadays and in the past? But please, but
Well, I don't think there are any differences between outdoor activities
okay.
at the present or in the past because they're just sports. They don't usually create new sports and they can't kiểu dùng với cái công nghệ hiện đại vô mấy trò ngoài
Dùng công nghệ hiện đại anh bắt nói lại
ví dụ như không có dùng dùng thiết
bây
bị
giờ
đặc biệt.
trong này người ta hỏi về những cái outdoor activity thôi. Bây giờ theo bác thì bác nói là có cái differences.
Yeah.
Lý do vì sao?
Nó gì cũng là
Tiếng Anh đi.
because
Có thấy chưa? Tại vì mình nghĩ là nó không có khác biệt, mình không dễ dàng. Bây giờ nó có bao nhiêu thứ để nói rồi. Hạnh nói con nghe vậy Hạnh. Nói đi là cô sửa xong. What are some differences between the outdoor activities children did now and in the past?
Well, I think there is a huge differences between the outdoor activities children get involved in the past and at the present. I think that in the past, when everything didn't develop or without the prevalence of technology, people had a plenty of time to participate in outdoors, such as flying kites or play football or something like that. But however, until now, with the prevalence of the technologies or maybe that some parent is absolutely busy, so it's hard for them to have a plenty of time to do some outdoor activities because they just sitting in the screen of the electronic devices. Yes, so maybe they just obviously yes. I think so.
Bây giờ cả lớp mình nói tiếng Việt sang thử ha. Bây giờ cái outdoor activities ngày xưa ngày nay khác không? Trẻ con chơi khác. Ngày xưa thường chơi gì?
Tốn tiền.
Những cái traditional games, ví dụ hide and seek, roping, từ roping không? Chơi từ đây, ok, được chưa? Và nó thường chơi ở đâu? Trước nhà, in the neighborhood hoặc là in the playground. Yeah, bây giờ cái outdoor activity trẻ con này chơi khác không? Nó có gì? Thể thao. Nó có những cái supporting tool equipment, ví dụ nó chơi gì? Ví dụ ở thành phố nó chơi gì? Nó có những cái sân rộng để cho nó chơi skateboarding, ví dụ như vậy. Nó có những cái gì? Những cái equipment trong gì? Trong những cái park lớn để cho nó chơi, đúng không? Nó có những cái theme park, có những trò chơi adventurous, đúng không? Ví dụ như mountain climbing, dạ, nhân tạo có. Như vậy đây là cái khác. Hình dung được chưa? Như vậy đơn giản cô sẽ trả lời vào I guess the difference between the outdoor activity children do now and those in the past. You know that in the past, children mainly got involved in some traditional games. For example, they often played with ai đứa con?
Cô, em hơi cô.
They often play traditional games like hide and seek or rocking, yeah, because there are some things that children might bring them a lot of fun and they often play in their childhood, in their neighborhood or in some playground, yeah. However, I guess that nowadays children take part in different modern outdoor games. Yeah. With the supporting of technologies, they can have some tool for them. For example, in my city, I can see that a lot of children enjoy skateboarding. Yeah. In some spacious place, or maybe if they go to the park or the theme park, there's a lot of games with different kinds of equipment for them. Thấy không? Thấy không Bắc hả? Yeah. So leisure time important to everyone. Ngọc trả lời câu này không? Con để Ngọc.
In my opinion, I think that the leisure time is so very important to everyone.
Yeah.
Because I think no one can work all day or no student can study all day. They have the time to free out the stress and they have the time to reset your brain to can adopt some lesson. Hết rồi.
Rõ ràng là thấy chưa ổn nha. Huy nói lại nha Huy.
Yes, I think leisure time is really important to everyone. Firstly, with children in the young age, leisure time is the good time for them to release stress and for them to entertain themselves after a really hard study time because they have to study almost a day. So leisure time is a good time for them to relax their mind. And for the people who are going to work, leisure time is so crucial to them. They can release the stress, free out all the pressures, all the pressures. And finally, is the elderly. I think ví dụ với người già thì leisure time.
Bây giờ cái đầu tiên, bây giờ cô chưa phân biệt young people với old people hoặc người đi làm với người đơn vị thấy không? Cái leisure time là cái gì? Cái thời gian rảnh, đúng chưa? Như vậy cái đầu tiên cái cảm giác của mình để for what? Relax, take a rest, đúng chưa? If you have more leisure time, it is a good chance opportunity for you to take up a hobby, hobby. Bởi vì bạn phải có leisure time, bạn take up được cái hobby, đúng không? Ok. Gì nữa? Leisure time is also important for someone who want to get involved themselves in other kinds of activity outside their own family or outside their work context. For example, they want to interact with many other people. They want to establish a lot of relationships. In leisure time important? Yes, of course. Như vậy mình sẽ có 3 cái cực kỳ quan trọng. Cái đầu tiên là cho dù bạn làm việc ở nhà, bạn làm việc ở ngoài hay là bạn là một người nào thì cái leisure time là một cái good opportunity cho bạn để làm gì? Relax, take a rest. Thứ hai, bạn sử dụng cái leisure time đó một cách hợp lý. Nếu bạn có gì thì bạn có để dần bạn take up một cái hobby cho bạn pursue một cái hobby đối với bạn. Và đối với nhiều người, leisure time cũng là một cái cách để bạn có thời gian, có opportunity để interact, để establish những cái social relationship. Bởi vì nếu bạn chỉ có trong công việc không thì bạn có thời gian để làm gì mà. Rõ ý tôi nói chưa? Như vậy chúng ta có 3 cái nguyên nhân chính nè, có 3 cái lý do. So do women have more leisure time than men?
I think it depends on the job that they have. For example, with the people who working in the office, so the working time of women and men is the same time. But with the one who working at home, like do the housewife, I think they may have a more leisure time than other people.
Okay. What do you think, Bác? Do you share the same idea that as Uyên?
I suppose that leisure time depends on what each job they do, not on gender. for example, people who work in office or for the government are usually really busy, and the others don't. I think so.
Câu này cô sẽ trả lời như thế nào đây? Ai có ý kiến trả lời khác không? It's hard to say, yeah. I think that it depends. For most people, they think that women have more leisure time than men because most of women often stay at home, for example, just doing the housework. But actually, nowadays, for modern women, the situation may be different. Yeah, they have to take over both the job, the task at workplace, and also the housework at home. So that is the reason why it's hard for them to have as much leisure time as men. However, I also understand that in some modern families nowadays, the husband or the father also learn how to share things with many other people in the family. So in this way, they think that women are very tired of work and they often try to save time for doing other kind of thing in the family to share the burden of housework for their wife and for their mother. And in this way, everything can be better for women. And in this way, women have more leisure time to enjoy themselves and to do whatever they want. Rõ không cả lớp? Rõ ý cô nói chưa? Ví dụ cái câu này, ví dụ trong gia đình cô thì women có thể have more leisure time nhưng mà những gia đình khác thì không. Ví dụ như vậy, hoặc là những gia đình khác người ta có more leisure time. Rồi cái phụ nữ, có những người phụ nữ là người ta có công việc, rồi người ta phải take over những cái nhiệm vụ trong gia đình. Ai nói họ more leisure time, nhưng mà cũng có những cái phụ nữ mà trong gia đình họ chỉ là housewife. Như vậy họ sẽ có cái cách để manage công việc tốt thì người ta vẫn có nhiều leisure time cho anh em. Hiểu ý cô nói chỗ này chưa cả lớp? Ok, thôi chỉ đi nha. Hiểu chưa? Ok. Có những